You're watching Hiring America. We're speaking with Mesale Solomon. She's the head of talent acquisition at Avis Budget, the car rental company making a big commitment to hiring veterans. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So you at Avis have job openings. What kinds?
We have all kinds of job openings, from our field operations to our sales support to our headquarters staff support. So we are really geared at careers for our veterans all across our organization.
And you're making a really big commitment to hiring veterans. What kinds of numbers are we talking about?
We hired about 8% of our hires last year were veterans, and we have goaled ourselves to increase that to 10% next year. As our hiring increases, we look at it every year and say, okay, how can we stretch ourselves? And this is part of that effort.
Why is hiring veterans a big goal for you? Why do you make it a priority?
Oh, for so many reasons. Our company was founded by a military veteran, and he was very committed, and our story continues with that theme. And we believe that veteran hires, we've seen it in our recent numbers as we track more and more, is that they're successful in our organization, they're loyal, they're committed, and they're smart. They come to us with a lot of training, and we capitalize on that.
And it's not necessarily jobs that you might think. I mean, they don't just work at the front desk.
No, absolutely not. And, you know, a lot of times people think of rental car and it's the counter where the rental sales associate might be, but it's way beyond that. We have our back office support, our leadership roles, so it's way bigger than the typical front-facing roles that you might see in rental car.
So what kind of executive tracks could someone in the military be shooting for at Avis?
All the way to the top. You know, as I said, our founder was a military veteran. The sky's the limit.
And have you encountered any difficulties in terms of hiring veterans, in terms of understanding the skills on their resume? That's been one of the challenges that we tackled early on. So on our career site, we actually put a translator that allows them to put in the code for the jobs that they were in, and it lets them know, here are some of the areas that you might be interested in that translate directly into roles that we have at Avis Budget Group. The next piece is, making sure that our hiring managers are aware of what questions to ask to really understand what roles that the veterans had in their military service, to see where that translates and where it fits into our jobs at Avis Budget Group. And sometimes it can be difficult, not just to get the job, but to really transition into corporate life. What kind of structures do you have in place to make them feel more welcome?
That's a great question. We've started kind of an organically grown business resource group of our military veterans, and we constantly ask them, how can we make your transition, but also your development in your career better? So it goes beyond just the veteran, but also to their families and helping them make the transition. But we're always seeking their feedback on how we can better improve their transition into the organization, rather than assuming what we think they need to transition.
And you're in charge of making sure that the hiring process is more diverse and including military veterans among that. What does that feel like for you?
I love it. I feel like it's the best job in our company, certainly within our HR function, because my team and I are responsible for acquiring the talent that's necessary to run our business. So to me, when I see our stock goes up and our businesses are successful, we get that done through our people. So I feel a really direct line of sight between what I do and how successful our organization is.
Tell us, if they are interested in finding a job at Avis, exactly what they do.
So they can go to our website. It's avisbudgetgroup.com/military. And there's actually a tab for military, and they can get a chance to look at our company culture and find out more about our organization, where we're hiring, but also learn more about the initiatives specifically geared toward our military veterans.
Great. So do you have any advice for someone who's applying for a job, maybe some mistakes you'd seen along the way, particularly to military veterans?
I would say explore everything once you get out of the military until you find that thing that's your niche, and you can be successful and you look after your family, but you also contribute to the company. So be really open-minded as you transition. And don't look for that job, but look for that career that's going to give you exposure to every aspect of the business, because the only limit is really whatever limit you set in your mind.
Okay, Mesale Solomon from Avis Budget, thanks so much for joining us, and I'm going to tell our military veterans to contact you directly. You have some good advice.
That's great. Thank you.
Hiring America will be back in a moment with two veterans moving up the ranks at the Avis Budget Group.